Learning to program is an excellent way to augment and enhance your GIS skills, and there are a variety of languages that you could learn. But you should decide what language is right for you within the context of what your overall goals in GIS are. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the different areas of GIS and what programming languages are most often used in that area. First, we have major software development. If you're trying to create a major software package like GRASS or QGIS or other one of our desktop software packages, you probably want to learn C++. A lot of that software is coded in C++. But not everyone in GIS is interested in creating their own standalone GIS software suite. If you're a GIS analyst and you want to use programming to become more efficient, to enhance and augment and even automate a lot of your analytical tasks, then you want to think about Python. Both Q and ArcGIS use Python for scripting. And this is a very powerful thing to do. If you are doing a lot of GIS analysis and you're doing a lot of pointing and clicking with the mouse, you can really become a lot more efficient by learning to script your operations in Python. Also, GIS analysts would really benefit from learning SQL. SQL is the structured query language, and it allows you to efficiently query databases and data tables. Anytime you're doing something like an attribute query in GIS, which is extremely common, you can do very sophisticated queries using SQL. The more of it you know, and there's a lot of power in it, the easier your analysis is going to be, because you're going to be able to do more advanced things faster because you understand everything it can do. If you want to start web development, doing web maps and web application development, one of the really neat things about that is there's a lot that you can do without knowing a whole lot of programming now. But the more you know, the better you can do. So if you're interested in developing what's called the front end, the user interface of web maps on web pages, then it really helps to know at least some HTML. That's the hypertext markup language. That's what your web pages are constructed with. And also CSS, which is cascading style sheets. That controls how your web pages look. Even if you're developing with web mapping packages that don't require a lot of programming, at least being familiar with both HTML and CSS is going to be a major help, so that you can go in and do some things and make some adjustments when you need to. Also, JavaScript in this area. Things like the Google Maps API. If you want to get a bit further into web application development, a lot of that is done with JavaScript. JavaScript controls basically the dynamic aspects of the web page. Once the web page arrives on your browser, if you want to manipulate what it's showing you, a lot of that time it's done with JavaScript. So HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are your sort of front-end web development programming languages. If you want to start working with what's called the back end of web development, if you want to start working with the servers and what they're doing to serve web pages to the clients and the browsers that are requesting for them, then you want to learn PHP. That's what creates web pages kind of on the fly in response to different requests that a user asks the server for. Similarly, if you're interested in geodatabase management or geodatabase design, you probably also want to know SQL. SQL is going to allow you to manipulate and modify a lot of these big databases that power our web GIS. If you're looking for a very interesting one to get started with, I have recently been experimenting with the Wolfram language, and I've been quite impressed with what I've been seeing. The Wolfram language tries to do as much as possible in as little code by automating as much as it can. It's also really neat because it comes with a whole bunch of data built in and automatically curated, so you can actually immediately start doing GIS tasks by like finding out the distance between, say, Cairo and London, because the language itself understands Cairo and London as cities and their position and is able to immediately calculate things like that. It's really neat. It also has the ability to deploy web applications very quickly and very easily in only a single line of code. If you're looking to get started with coding and you really want to find out what's the most I can do with as little as I can get started with, you should really check out the Wolfram language. You're probably going to be surprised at what you can do.